Hey Dreamer, welcome to the Dear Dreamer podcast. I'm your host, Candace Kamille, and today I want to talk to you about believing in your dreams. So here's the deal. Your dreams aren't just random thoughts, and they're not just crazy ideas. They're the things that really matter to you. They're the stuff that you hope for and the things that you want deep down inside, right? They're like the roadmap to your future, showing you where you could go if you actually believed in them, if you actually believed that these things were possible for you. They're a big part of who you are, and they're a huge part of who God has called you to be. But here's the deal. Having dreams isn't enough. To make them happen, you have actually got to believe in God, believe in what He says is possible for you, and in the dream that He has given you. So today, we're going to break down what it means to believe in your dreams and why it is so important. We'll also talk about how you can get yourself to that anything is possible mindset, because anything truly is possible with God. Believing in your dreams isn't just about being unrealistically positive, right? It's about realizing that your dreams are valuable. You are valuable, and so are your dreams. Whether you are dreaming of being a business owner or just leading a purposeful life, your dreams matter. They matter because they're uniquely yours, and God has given them specifically to you. Walking fully in them has the power to change your life in a major way. This is not the time to hold yourself back. Walk into the dream, walk into the things that God has given you to do, because He put your name on those things for you to carry them out, for you to execute them, and for you to bring them into the earth. So let's try an exercise that I do with my clients, and let's just take a moment to be in this moment. Close your eyes if that feels good to you, and take a deep breath in and out. I want you to picture your dreams. What does it feel like to actually achieve them? How would your life be different? How would you be different? Who do you get to become in actually working and moving towards that dream? Where do you live? Who are your friends? What does your day look like? What does your family look like? How do you feel? When you're ready, come back into the room. How did that feel to you? What did it feel like to dream, to imagine? Listen, your dreams are not too big, and they are not too small or too wild, even if it feels that way. And I know that dreams can sometimes feel a little outlandish. They can feel a little bit wild. I feel like is the word to use sometimes. Like, let's be honest. Sometimes the things that God gives us, the dreams that He's given us to carry out, they feel a little wild. They feel a little crazy, right? But they're the perfect size for you, right? And if God gave them to you, you have everything that you need to carry them out. And even if you have to grow into the dream by becoming, evolving, changing, growing, right? They're still your dream. And so who you get to become on the journey is just a part of the journey, right? It's a part of life. It's a part of what it takes to actually become the person who executes, who becomes the person who actually is able to carry that dream into life, becomes the person who's able to birth the dream, right? So, what's the first step? First step is you've got to believe that it's possible for you. You've got to believe. You have to believe God. You have to believe in who He says you are. And you have to believe in what He says is possible for you. Believing in your dreams means trusting in the abilities that have been uniquely given to you and understanding that your dreams are not just random ideas, but they're powerful visions of what can be done in your life, what you can do with your life. Here's an affirmation that I like to use for myself, right? I'll let you borrow it, but make sure you give me my credit. If God said it, I believe it, and that settles it. If God said it, I believe it, and that settles it, right? If God says I can, I can. If God says it's mine, right? Those are the things that we get to repeat to ourselves to remind ourselves that God has given me something. He's told me something about me, and I get to be that person. Yes. Do I have to grow into this person? Yes. Yeah. Will I have to step out of my comfort zone? Absolutely. Will I have to evolve in ways? Yes. Will I have to let some things go? Absolutely. Will I have to gain new things? Sure. But He still said that it can be you. He still said it can be yours, right? And I don't know about you, but whatever has my name on it, I want all of those things. I want every single thing that God has put my name on. What I don't want to happen for my life or yours is for me to get to heaven or me to get to the end of my life and I get to heaven and God opens a room with a door that has my name on it, right? And He says, "Hey, Candace, I just want to show you this room. These are all the things that I had for you to experience on earth. These are all the doors that I have for you to walk through. These are all the ideas that I have for you to execute. This is what it would have looked like if you actually carried out that dream. But because you didn't want to take the risk, because you didn't want to believe that these things were possible for you, because you didn't want to take me at my word, because you didn't believe my promises were true, I had to leave these things hidden in this room because you never really got to experience all of what I had for you. That's not what I want for my life. I don't know about you guys, but that will not be my story. That will not be my testimony. That will not be what happens for me. If He says that it's mine, it's going to be mine. I'm going to go after the things that He has said is possible for me because it's got my name on it. I like the things that have my name on it. I'm very um, very territorial over what's mine, right? I want the things that belong to me, and I want them when God says I can have them in the timing that He says is appropriate for me, right? So it's not always easy. No one said that this was an easy journey, and I promise you that no part of my journey has been easy or has been just a walk in the park. It's all been something that I've had to work through, fight through, cry through, um, but it's been worth it. It is worth it. It's worth it for you. It's worth it for me. I promise you it's worth it. Even in my prayer journal just yesterday, I was writing about the journey that God has me on right now, talking about the things that I've had to go through in the last year and the person who I've had to evolve into in the last year and the changes that I've had to go through and all the things. And I was just giving gratitude to God for how worth it is in this moment, how worth it is to have had to go through all those things, how worth it is to be sitting where I'm sitting right now, right? And I guarantee you, like where I'm sitting today is not where I'll be sitting tomorrow, and where I'm sitting today is not where I was sitting yesterday. But where I am mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically today. It's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth every tear. It's worth every bit of growth that I've had to endure. It's worth all of it, right? And I was just really grateful to God for just being able to experience life in the way that I'm experiencing life right now. To be able to believe Him for the things that He said are possible for me. To be able to stand on His promises 10 toes down, not even knowing sometimes what that looks like in full, but believing that if He has brought me to a point where He wants me to walk it out with Him. That if I put my full trust in Him and the work behind it that's required to bring it to fruition, that things will start to look like what He said. And they do, right? They do, right? So, how can you strengthen your belief? How can you strengthen your belief? Well, first, surround yourself with a tribe of people who lift you up, have a strong sense of belief in God and their dream, and they're walking 10 toes down in that belief. Now, are there days where your friends might or your tribe might get a little weary? Yes, because everybody in the tribe is human, right? And as human beings, we go through things. As human beings, we battle things. As human beings, there's not a perfect life. There's no such thing as a perfect person. There's no such thing as a perfect life. And because there's not, they're gonna go through things too, right? They're gonna have moments of weakness too, right? But are there days, or is their belief set up in such a way where they are believing more days than they're not? Are they giving, are they pushing you more days than they're not? Are they speaking belief into you more days than they're not, right? Are they talking to you in a way that's going to help you to move forward? Are they giving you tools? Are they helping you to find the people and the things that you need to continue to move forward, right? Share your dreams with people who support you. Share your dreams with people who are actually bold enough to believe in the things that God has said is possible for them, right? So here's the thing. Sometimes we share our dreams with the wrong people. We share our dreams with the wrong people, or we'll share our dreams with the wrong people too soon, right? And because the people that we're sharing our dreams with don't have enough belief for themselves, they definitely don't have the belief for you in what God has said is possible for you. So find yourself some believers, not just people who believe in God. Believing in God is great, right? We, I need people around me who believe in God. Let's be clear, 1000% clear about that, right? But I also need people who believe in themselves. I need people who believe what God said is possible for them. It's possible. I need people who stand 10 toes down in that belief and like are warring and fighting for that belief every day. People who know that what God is doing in them is a thing even before they can see it physically, right? Because everything that God gives you, you're not going to be able to see it all in the physical right away. Some things are going to require your full faith and your full belief to see it before you see it. Some things are going to take you having to hold on to the vision of what God gave you until you actually see that thing in real life. Find yourself some people who believe. Your dreams, the way that you believe in them, the people you put your dreams in front of matter, right? They matter. Some people aren't getting where they want to be, not because they don't have a dream or the ability to execute, but because the people that they surround themselves with on the day in and day out basis are speaking negativity, they're speaking doubt, they're speaking fear, they're speaking loss, they're speaking all sorts of things that are adverse to where they could possibly go if they started to change their, not just their thoughts, but their language. Ooh, you are what you eat. So if you're eating negativity, if you're eating lack of faith, if you're eating disbelief, then that is what you are going to start to produce, even if you don't try, right? So find yourself people who are speaking life, who are speaking belief, who are speaking boldly and confidently about the things that God has said is possible for not just them, but for you, right? Find yourself some mentors and coaches and role models who have achieved similar dreams and learn from them, grow from them, have them hold you accountable to the things that you said you wanted to do. Who's holding you accountable? Who is holding your hand as you're walking through this journey? Who's calling and checking on you to make sure that you're doing the things that you said you were going to do? Who are you checking in with? Do you have people who you check in with? It's time to get some people that you check in with. It's time for you to find a tribe that is going to hold you accountable to the things that you said that you wanted to do. Now, as far as mentors are concerned, sometimes those type of people can be found in the form of a book or a podcast. You might not be able to physically get in front of your mentor right now, but there are books that they've written that are going to give you the full blueprint. All you have to do is read it. The podcasts that they do, where they've given you things day in and day out, or week in and week out, or month in, or however often they do their podcast. All you gotta do is listen, right? Utilize your time wisely. Be a good steward of your time. Be a good steward of your resources. Be a good steward of the people that God is putting in your circle. Sometimes God is changing out your circle. You might be wondering where the people in your life are going or why people are leaving, right? And it might be the case that it's time for you to change your circle, right? Here's 3 types of people that you should always have in your life. You should always have someone who's mentoring you, someone who's walking alongside of you, and someone who you are speaking life into. If you're looking at your circle and you don't have those 3 people, it might be time to reevaluate, to look at your circle and to find someone who's mentoring you, someone who's speaking to you, someone who's walking alongside of you, someone that you can talk to about where you are and how you guys can hold each other accountable and all those types of things. And then someone who you're speaking life into, right? Those 3 people are important. Now, if you're looking for a coach, let's talk. Let's set up some time where we can talk about your dreams, right? Where we can talk about the things that God has given you and how we can bring those things to life. How we can build the dreamer you so that the dreamer you can build the dream. That's what we do here. We build dreamers so the dreamer can build the dream. If you're looking for a community, there's the Dreamers Village. The Dreamers Village is full of dreamers who are doing things, building things, developing things, dreaming things, right? Find your squad, find your tribe. Those are just 2 options, but there are a gazillion out there. And this one might not be the one for you, and that's okay. My feelings are not hurt. We'll still be friends, I promise, right? But there are people who are out there that can hold you accountable. There are people who are out there that can hold your hand. There are people who are out there that can help you to get to the places and the spaces that you want to go. Don't limit yourself. Find your tribe, find your people, and have someone hold you to the things that you said that you wanted to do. Time out for playing small. Time out for not doing the things. Time out for not being the person that God has called you to be. Here's the thing, the richest place in the world is the graveyard. Because that's the place where dreams and ideas and visions that God gave people have gone to die with the people he gave them to because the people didn't walk it out. They never brought it into life. They never did the things that God called them to do. They never became the person God wanted them to become. And so when they die, those dreams, those ideas, those visions died with him. Where would the world be if the dreamers actually built the dream? God has called you to do something amazing in this world. I know it. He's called me to do something amazing in this world. Whether it's to impact one person or 10,000, He's called us to do something. Let's not be a lazy servant. Let's actually do the things that God has called us to do. Let's be the people that God has called us to be. So here's your second step. Take little steps towards your dream regularly, daily, hourly. Every tiny action, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goals. Every tiny action, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goals. Speed doesn't matter. It's all about moving in the right direction. One of the first books that I really sat with when I really started to get serious about um, having a mindset of growth and development was Darren Hardy, The Compound Effect. I had to think about the book title. But Darren Hardy, The Compound Effect. I remember where I was. I remember being at a Panera. I remember sitting outside. I remember the umbrella being over me and it being a nice day. I remember opening that red book and turning to the first pages. I remember the smell of the book. I remember having the book in my hand. I remember having my little coffee next to me and actually just starting to dive in. I remember him talking about this roller coaster ride of a journey, right? And how that's what it can often feel like to be on this ride. And I remember him talking about how you start doing something consistently over time, and eventually you'll realize that those consistent tiny actions that you've taken over time have created big changes and made big results in your life. And I thought that was amazing. And so sometimes people will look at people who are doing amazing things and will think that they got there overnight. And we don't take in or we don't consider those tiny actions that they took over time to continue to develop and become the person that you see. That didn't happen overnight. I guarantee you, most of the people that you see, none of that happened overnight. It took time. It took being consistent. It took discipline. It took a lot of things that you didn't see. And that's what it's going to take for you. Let's not fool ourselves and think that we're just going to automatically arrive at the places and as the person that God has called us to be. But we can get there little by little, step by step, day by day, small changes, small tweaks. I'm reading the book Atomic Habits. I'll tell you about it more as I get to the end, right? Um, but it talks about the consistent things, the consistent habits that you create over time, the consistent things that you do day in and day out, kind of like the compound effect, right? That can create big changes in your life. Huge. It's crazy, right? But it's possible. It's possible to do. It's possible for you. So here's the last thing. Be kind to you. Be kind to you. Understand that setbacks and challenges are just a part of the journey. They're going to happen. Things are going to happen in life. Unexpected events are going to happen in your life. Things that you didn't expect or plan for are going to happen in your life. People are going to get sick. You know, um, the car might not work. Things are going to happen. And I don't want to speak any of these things into your life, so I'm just bringing up some examples of things that could happen, right? None of these things have to happen for you. But things do happen, let's be real, right? Um, but don't let the self-doubt mess with your belief in your dreams. Don't let the moments of setback stop you from doing the things that you're called to do. Don't let the things that happen derail you ultimately from what God has called you to do and who He's called you to be. I've had plenty of setbacks. Let's talk about that. I've had plenty, plenty of setbacks. I've had very uncomfortable life events. I've had huge life changing things happen in my life that could have ultimately stopped me dead in my tracks and kept me from moving forward. But I used those things. Those things fueled me. And we'll talk about those another day. They are things to talk about though. Those things fueled me. They helped me to continue to evolve. They helped me to continue to grow. They helped me to continue to move forward. But there are some things I had to battle. And let's be real, there are some things I'm still battling. Everyone you know is fighting a battle you know nothing about. Nothing. Nothing. But they're battling something. I think that the vulnerability in that to be able to say, hey, there's a battle that I've been fighting is a real thing. And it helps us to look a little bit more human to each other, right? Um, so yeah, don't let those setbacks hold you back from continuing to evolve, continuing to grow, continuing to become, continuing to just do the things that God has called you to do. They're for you to carry out. They're for you to do. They're for you to believe. They're for you to stand 10 toes down in. They're for you to work on. They're for you to build. Don't let the setbacks hold you back. Let them fuel you. Let them aid you on this journey. Use them as log for your fire. Don't let them douse the fire. Don't let them stop you from becoming. Don't let them stop you from doing. Take the setbacks with stride. Take the time that you need to heal. Take the time that you need to reel. Take the time that you need to lament. Take the time that you need to bounce back, but do bounce back. And find that's why your tribe is important. I think it was Mike Todd. I was listening to a sermon from him the other day, and he was talking about how like you will fall. That's it's inevitable. You're gonna fall. But how far you fall is contingent on your circle. How far you fall is contingent on your circle. How far you go when you fall is contingent on the people that you have around you, the people who are speaking life into you, the people who are willing to catch you in the middle of your fall. Who's in your circle? I think that's a good point to go back to. Who is in your circle? So here's the thing. Believing your dreams is something that you get to choose to do every day. It's a choice. It's a choice. You get to choose to believe that you can do it each day. It's like making a daily commitment to yourself and to your vision for the future. So dreamers, hold on to the dreams that God has given you. They're the keys to a life filled with purpose and joy. You have everything that you need right now to start. If you need help, reach out to help. If you want to talk about what help looks like from a dream coach, my information's in the comment section, in the captions, whatever that is below. Reach out. We'll talk. I'll hold your hand. I'll give you a plan, but we will work. We will work until you start to move into the person who builds the dream. And I'm going to hold you accountable because that's what I do. But here's the thing, whoever it is, whether it's me or somebody else, that part I don't care about. We can still be friends. Do it. Stop sleeping on you. I slept on me. I'll admit that. And there are some areas in which I probably still am sleeping on myself. But don't sleep on yourself. It's time to wake up. It's time to walk into the dreams. It's time to stop sleeping on the dreams and actually become the dreamer who builds the dream. Because that dreamer is what you're called to do. You're called to build the dream. So let's build. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope that this was beneficial for you. I hope that you got something from it. If nothing else, I hope it encouraged you to move forward and to keep dreaming, keep believing, and keep building. There's nothing that you can't do with God's help. Thanks for hanging out with me on this episode of the Dear Dreamer podcast. Remember, your dreams are worth believing in, and you have the power to bring those dreams into reality. Till next time, keep dreaming and keep believing that you are the man or the woman that can bring this dream to life. Go forth and conquer, and may your day be filled with love, joy, and peace. See you next time.